Hi, this is Mrs. Marita. Welcome to section 1.7, part 2. In our first lesson, we talked about solving absolute value equations. Now in part 2, we're going to cover solving absolute value inequalities.
Now let's go to example 3. Understanding absolute value inequalities. Solve and graph the solutions of each inequality. So what we're going to do is we have to basically account for two answers with absolute value signs. Okay, so for example, it says solve and graph the linear inequality, or each inequality. Okay, so we have an absolute value inequality here. Okay, and so what we're going to do, we're going to split it into two. The first one is just going to be x is greater than 15, right? That's the normal original inequality without the absolute value sign. The other one will be x is less than, we're going to flip the sign and change the sign. So one stays the same. One is you're going to flip the sign. Flip the sign of the inequality sign and change the sign of the number. Okay, so one stays the same, x is greater than 15. The other one, you flip the sign of the inequality sign and change the sign of the number. So here we have two answers. X is greater than 15, x is less than negative 15. So we're going to go ahead and graph this. If you have 15 on one side, negative 15 on the other side, open circle. At 15, x is all the numbers greater than 15. Open circle, x is all the numbers less than negative 15, which is that way. All right. And then the last question here, same deal. X is less than or equal to 7. X is greater than or equal to negative 7. We flip the sign and then change it. So then if I had 7 on one side and negative 7 on the other side, close circle, x is all numbers less than. Close circle, x is all the numbers greater than. And that's how we're going to solve this absolute value inequality. Okay? Don't forget, one stays the same, one flips the sign. Okay?
Let's add one more reminder, just a note on part A. Remember with part A, our inequality was a greater than. So when you say that, a greater than inequality, greater, those are the ones that go out. You're either less than negative 15 or greater than positive 15. And then for part B, the inequality was a less than. Think less than. Okay, that's kind of silly, but you get the point. With the less than, these are inequalities that go in. So we need to be both greater than or equal to negative 7 and less than positive 7. Now, the open dots, closed dots, just to review, that depends on whether your inequality includes the or equal to. If you have an or equal to in either inequality, greater thans or less thans, you close the dot. If you're strictly greater than or less than with no underline, no or equal to, that's when we have the open dot. But just remember, with your greater thans, you always go out. With your less thans, you go in. There are some more advanced topics with absolute value inequalities where there are a few exceptions to this rule, but this is what we're going to work with for now. And that's it for section 1.7 part 2. Make sure you copy down all your notes and bring any questions to class.